In 1992, Pepsi launched a new contest in the Philippines using its new marketing strategy called Number Fever. In this contest, one could win up to 1 million Philippine currency, which was a huge amount at that time. This contest was based on a simple idea, that is, a winning number was announced every evening in the news, and if anyone had a Pepsi cap with the same number written on the back, he could win up to 1 million pesos. Because of this contest, for the first time, the sales of Pepsi increased to 14 million per month. And for the first time, it seemed that Pepsi would overtake Coca-Cola in the long-running battle between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. But then something happened that was like a nightmare for the company. Yes, 5 people died because of this contest. This contest became very popular since its inception, and everyone was involved in collecting caps of Pepsi bottles in their homes to win this money. At that time, according to a report by Pepsi, half the population of the Philippines was participating in it. And because of such popularity, the company decided to continue it for another 5 weeks instead of ending it. And that was the mistake. In this entire competition, only Pepsi had control over which numbers would be printed on the bottle caps and which ones would be announced on TV. Pepsi had ensured with the help of a computer program that such a winning number would be announced, which would be printed only on the lid of 2 bottles. That is, Pepsi wanted to select only 2 winners within their budget. But then on May 25, 1992, a small computer error mixed up many numbers and a winning number 349 was announced at 6 p.m. Now, according to Pepsi's plan, a number should be selected, which is only on the cap of 2 bottles, but after the number 349 was announced on that day, millions of Filipinos started celebrating. Because 349 was a number that had already been declared non-winner and printed on millions of bottles. And because more people had the bottle cap with this number, they were now celebrating their wealth. After which, these hundreds of people went towards the factory with their winning number bottle caps to collect their prizes, but the factory was closed, and the police stopped them. By now, Pepsi had realized what a big mess they had made, and it was not financially possible for the company to give a prize to every winner. For that, they had to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. So Pepsi held a midnight meeting to find a solution to this problem. After that, Pepsi put all the blame on the computer and printed the original winning number, which was 134, on the newspaper to convey it to the people. Apart from this, Pepsi also offered 500 pesos to all the winners for the caps with the winning number 349, which was only 0.0% of 1 million. Most people refused to accept it, saying that they had nothing to do with the computer error and that Pepsi was a multi-million-dollar corporation, so it should pay the full prize it had announced. But all these had no impact on Pepsi. And then many of these winners started protesting, rioting, and vandalism. The workers and owners of the company started receiving threats. Pepsi's trucks and properties were also burnt. And during all this, 5 people died, and dozens were injured. But the matter did not end here. Rather, after some time, a group of 350 people from these winners decided to take legal action against Pepsi. The leader of this group was a man named Del Fierro. He gathered many people from this contest and sued Pepsi for $400 million. Now, all this continued till 1993, and then another twist came in the story. An old newspaper accused Pepsi of setting fire to its own properties in riots against it, and all this was done by Pepsi to call its opponent group as terrorist and to weaken their position in the court, and all this was printed in the newspaper after the testimony of a police officer. After that, the court finally issued an order to arrest the owner and workers of Pepsi. This was a great victory for the Filipino people, but unfortunately, it was also their last victory. Because in the next few months, the court dismissed almost all lawsuits and complaints against Pepsi, and in the end of 2006, the court also closed this case, and Pepsi had to pay a fine of only 150,000 pesos. And many people who experience number fever are still suffering from this trauma. Thank you all for watching the video till the end.